the Leafs are getting together and they're skating and they're working out, and the majority of them are here in town, including a guy who I'm guessing never left. He's from here. He lives here. Here's Zach Hyman from the Maple Leafs. Have you been in Toronto this whole time, Zach?
You know it.
Attaboy. Yeah, it's the only place. So what's it like being out there on the ice? How does it feel to be around the guys again?
Oh, it's unbelievable, especially when you have almost a 3-month layoff without seeing anybody. I was stuck in my condo, so it's an unbelievable change of scenery, and to be able to get on the ice and work out with the guys is it's really awesome.
Any anxiety, paranoia being in there? What was it like your first time back in? What was your mentality like?
I was excited. No anxiety or paranoia. More excitement. Is just when you're stuck somewhere for 3 months. I didn't skate. Didn't really have any access to a full gym. I had a bike and some free weights and a stability ball, but to have access to a full gym and see guys and skate, it was just full excitement.
So Zach, we know you obviously as a great winger on this team, a guy who works harder than anybody on this squad, but we also know you're an entrepreneur. Not just a hockey player, but an owner of an esports team. What was the pandemic like for you in terms of that business? Did esports take off in a way that people were talking it might?
Yeah, it's been busy. Honestly, I've been busy on that front, and got to spend some more time doing that stuff because I was stuck at home so much. So. From a viewership perspective, everything's gone up because kids are home out of school. Kids aren't going to go to camp with all the cancellations. So everything's kind of gone up. YouTube numbers, the way people watch video games are through YouTube, Twitch, primarily, and all of our numbers on those platforms have gone up with what's been going on.
So take us through that. We're chatting with Zach Hyman. Are you someone that will watch someone else play video games, or are you only waiting for them to watch you play video games?
No, yeah, I watch. I definitely watch. I watch. There's tournaments and competitions, and then there's just guys who play recreationally who are really good and fun to watch. So I'm definitely one of the guys who watches other people.
Do people know that you're watching? Like, do you have the headset on, and do people know that, okay, I'm talking to an NHL hockey player here? And if so, once they find that out, any chirps, like any Bruins fans or Sens fans or Habs fans out there?
Well, when I'm streaming, then yeah, you get some in the chat. So when you're streaming, you got your headset on and you got your controller and you're looking at your monitor, which has the video game, but then your computer is kind of where the chat's going on. So you can interact with your chat and talk to them. When I'm watching other people play, I'm just on my, I'm just walking here, just on my laptop, and I can interact with them, but they can't really see my face. It's just kind of watching them. It's a reverse.
So I've written about this a little bit, Zach, over the years, like the sports on, esports or Fortnite or whatever game you're playing. It's as much a social activity sometimes. If you're not a real competitor, it's as much a social activity, but when you guys are playing as a team, like how much of that's going on? How many Maple Leafs guys are sort of getting on a Fortnite game together during the pandemic? And who is sort of the monster of that game? Who's winning that thing?
Well, we did the NHLPA Fortnite tournament, and our team. I was actually the color commentator. Our team didn't do so well. It was Mitchie, Freddie the Goat, and Jeremy. I think they finished near the bottom. Which
boy.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but I think St. Louis actually won. They were really good. So you can see how much. I think we had like 70 guys in the tournament. It was run with Epic, who are the owners of Fortnite. It was awesome. We raised, I think, $200,000 for charity through the event. So that was fun. The game that's actually kind of picked up some steam in our locker room is Call of Duty Warzone. So it's a battle royale game under Call of Duty, and Mitchie plays that over Fortnite now. He was complaining that in the tournament he hadn't played Fortnite in months, so he was rusty. So Warzone is the new game, actually.
Oh, really? So are you like a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy? Are you committed to one over the other?
I usually play on Xbox, and Mitch, I think, plays PlayStation. But the PS5's coming out. They did that whole reveal, and that I might have to get one of those. It looks
Yeah,
really
that
good.
looks pretty sweet, man. Oh, it's a monster, dude. It looks like the size of a fax machine. Like,
Yeah.
how are you going to get that in the condo? You need someone to deliver it for you.
I might have to go and buy a house for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Zach, so let's talk about this result in the team Fortnite thing. Like, what was the problem? Was it scouting? Was it coaching? Where was the weakness in the Toronto Maple Leafs Fortnite squad?
They're rusty. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I was giving it to them afterwards, and after Mitch, he was chiming back that he's been playing Warzone and Fortnite's old, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, all right, Mitch. So, I don't know. They didn't show up. They didn't show up. It was, they played 4 games in the tournament, and we might have been like 22nd out of 25 teams.
Ugly.
Yeah, ugly.
Can you recruit some new talent? Is this what you're going to have to do here? You're going to get Dubas on the phone and say, we're going to need some additions here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we traded away our good Fortnite players. Mason Marchment was really good, and Trevor Moore was also really good. They were also in the tournament. They did better than our guys.
Oh, so blame Dubas. It's all on Dubas.
We'll do that for you. We'll take a run at Dubas.
Give Kyle a call. Let him know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make sure he's aware of what he's done. How dare he ruin the Fortnite tournament by trying to improve the team? We're chatting with Zach Hyman. So have you put any thought into, how this is going to feel to play again? And when you guys are, hanging out down at the rink, are you preparing for Columbus, or is it too early for that?
Yeah, no, I think we definitely put thought into it. I think right now with phase 2, it's hard to prepare for a team when we can't even really – we're social distancing on the ice. There's no contact. There's only 5 or 6 of us on the ice at a time. So it's almost like the summer where you're just focusing on your skill work and trying to get some conditioning in. So hopefully once phase 3 rolls around, that's the training camp date. It's set for July 10th. We'll have video. I'm sure the coaching staff has done a ton of scouting of Columbus, so we'll be pretty prepared for them. And we'll have a nice window there to get acclimated to their style of play and what they do.
Based on your interactions with your own teammates and guys around the league, what's the consensus on this return to play in the hub city and the daily testing? Does everyone seem to be kind of cool with the direction the league is going in?
Yeah, no, I think the testing. We're just to give you guys some perspective. Like, we're getting tested twice a week now during our current phase 2. So I got tested today. It's the nose swab. They put the swab in your nose, 15 seconds one side, 15 seconds the other side. And it's not, I think guys over exaggerate. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's not overly comfortable, obviously, but it's worth it to play. So I think that's an issue. We get tested regularly for all the guys going in. I think it's one step at a time for us right now. Once we learn more about the guidelines for phase 3 and phase 4, I guess that's when we're going to start to really dive into that. But it's pretty speculative with regards to, the bubble, how restrictive the bubble is, all those questions, right?
So obviously you guys seem to be, Zach, one of the teams with the biggest sort of confluence of players in one place. I think you guys have got about 20 guys here in Toronto, but notable absences, of course, Austin Matthews, Freddie Anderson, still in Arizona last we heard. I mean, any sense of their strategy of why they've chosen not to come up here, and how do you see that?
Yeah, I think they have a really good setup out there. I think the quarantine rule with Canada right now, or I don't know if it's changed since, but the 14-day quarantine, hopefully that changes where, and I think that the government said that they think that it's going to change where if you fly in, privately and you get tested, you can start to use the facility, because as it stood, I'm pretty sure those guys would have to quarantine, and, to take 2 weeks off is pretty tough, right? So they have a great setup out there. They have access to what they have access to, and I think they're 2 of our big guys. So I think that they're preparing and they're getting ready, and we'll be ready for once they join us.
We're chatting with Zach Hyman. We've talked a lot about how this viewing experience is going to be with no fans, and maybe how the broadcast companies can filter in some artificial fan noise and try to make it feel and sound as natural as possible from the couch. But it's not possible to do that when you're actually on the ice. Like, there will not be fans in the building. So is there anything you want to see maybe added to the playing experience, whether it's music being played, players maybe being mic'd up? Is there anything you've heard of or anything you've thought of that maybe can change considering the circumstances and the fact that there won't be any fans in the building?
Yeah, no, I haven't heard too much about it. I think from a playing perspective, I've played in arenas growing up where there haven't been too many fans, and you kind of just tune it out and you play hockey and you don't even realize it. It's more when you're going from no fans to tons of fans that you really realize it, and you're like, oh man, this is pretty cool. So I don't know if having no fans will, and it will affect obviously the momentum and the swings and everything that goes with a playoff atmosphere. But for us going out there and playing, we'll just go out there and play. With regards to a viewing experience, I think it could be a cool opportunity to try new things from a broadcast perspective. I don't know what the NHL is thinking, but it's definitely, for you guys, maybe player mics, we have that before, but you'll be able to hear much more of the chatter between players that go on. And I don't know if the NHL is so high on that, but that would be entertaining.
No, yeah, we'd love to see the unedited video or audio of that for sure, Zach. But I'm not sure that would be passing the broadcast standards very often. But it's a kind of a melding of your worlds, though, Zach, because you're a video game guy. Apparently, in the Premier League and in the Bundesliga in Germany, and I think in the NBA and NHL, they're talking the sound they're going to use is essentially from EA Sports. It's a video game generated sound because those companies have spent a lot of time building that soundtrack to their sports games that sound so realistic.
It would be great. We can have Ray on the horn. I think he's the voice of NHL, so we can just get him by doing the play-by-play for us.
Robot Ray. He doesn't even just show up. He can
just use it from the video game. I'm sure he's everything that could ever possibly happen on the ice. I know I've talked to him. He's in that booth like 12 hours a day for like a week straight, coming up with every possible scenario. So I'm sure it'll be available as long as the sound engineer is ready. Maybe that's all we need is Ray calling games, courtesy of EA Sports. That's a good call. Although you're a color analyst now too, so maybe you could be the third man in the booth.
Oh man, I don't know. That was way higher than I thought it was going to be, to be honest. So I think I'll leave that to Ray for now.
Yeah, good man.
That's the next innovation, Zach. It's playing commentary. Like, you comment on the game as you're playing the game, and you're the guy, man.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be playing too well if I was talking the whole time.
Yeah, true enough. But that could be, you're right, man. That's a trailblazer move. Someone's going to grab that and say, mic me up, and I'll do play-by-play by myself while I'm playing.